You are listening to Pharmacy, IT, and Me, your informatics pharmacist podcast. Hey everyone, this is Tony Dow, and welcome to another episode of Pharmacy, IT, and Me. As with every episode, we start this one saying that the intended audience for this episode is everyone. So, this past week was National Healthcare IT Week, and it's coming to an end. There was a lot of different things going on and a lot of great content being released. So since we're in the world of, social media and content creation, I figured that the last episode of this podcast during NHIT week would just be me sharing, several of the content creators in informatics and healthcare IT and even non-traditional pharmacy space that I follow. And my hope is that you would find their content just as useful as I have. So let's just get right into it. First up is Daily Dispense. Now, the Daily Dispense is manned by none other than Dr. Baiju Shah. Baiju's been on the podcast before as part of the collaborative episode for One Goal, Many Paths. He's a constant video content creator and works as a clinical informatics pharmacist with additional experiences in teaching. As with his passion in teaching, he loves to find ways to share information with others. You can follow Baiju through his LinkedIn or through the Daily Dispense LinkedIn page, where you'll find insightful blog posts, informative visual posts, and inspiring stories. Next up is Dr. Timothy Angst, also known as the Digital Apothecary. Timothy Angst is a leading voice in the digital health space and is an advocate of the pharmacist role in digital health advancement. He's written many papers and presented at multiple events, and he's also an associate professor of pharmacy practice. His website is thedigitalapothecary.com, and you'll find a lot of his blog posts, musings, and links to his podcast episodes of Future Dose Tech. He's also presenting at the upcoming Digital Health Conference in Garden Grove, California. A very useful document that he offers is a free ebook that serves as a primer for pharmacists on digital health, which is also found on his website. Alright, so the next person that I want to talk about is the rapidly rising star, Dr. David Vu. He's a recent grad of 2018, and he works at KitCheck Blue Site for Controlled Substances. He's also on a previous episode that we had, the collaborative episode about One Goal, Many Paths. On social media, he's known as the Full Stack Pharmacist, and he's been on fire with his content creation, like really on fire. He primarily focuses on infographics that highlight non-traditional pharmacy roles and highlights innovative leaders in the healthcare technology space. His infographic series, Pharmacists Just Push Pills, highlights many of the roles that most individuals did not know pharmacists can practice in, and has garnered over 150,000 views and 350 reshares on LinkedIn alone. He continues to be an amazing leader in the healthcare IT field and also in helping students and pharmacists find their passion. Alright, so the next person I want to talk about and content creator is Dr. Christy Chung and her blog, Think Digital Health. You can find this blog at thinkdh.co. Christy was on the podcast not too long ago as well, when she was finishing up her tenure as a student, and it's actually really impressive that she's been blogging about digital health and other healthcare IT related subjects since her student years. She's had a lot of experience in pharmacogenomics and the application of technology in the pharmacy space, and her intent of the Think DH blog is for her to share her thoughts on any of the new technology pieces that she's interested in. And it's her goal that whatever she's interested in learning, she shares with her readers concurrently while she's learning it herself. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is the Nontraditional Pharmacist podcast. You can find them at thenontraditionalpharmacist.com. And Doctors Matt, Lynn, and Nick, they all co-run the Nontraditional Pharmacist, and they share with their listeners all the different types of roles a pharmacist can get into outside of the traditional community or health system setting. It's not necessarily pharmacy informatics or health IT focused, but they provide a wide range of different roles that is very interesting to listen to. And on the same vein, the RX Radio podcast hosted by Dr. Richard Waite is also a great resource to hear different roles in the pharmacy space. He's had several guests on the podcast that do talk about the roles in healthcare IT or, the pharmacy informatics space. But beyond that, RX Radio also provides, some quite needed humor sometimes through their Instagram page, where they post different, memes and jokes that pharmacists and pharmacy students would find particularly funny. You can find Richard's podcast on most major podcast services. And finally, I want to talk about ImproRx. ImproRx is a YouTube channel manned by Dr. Brian Fung, an informatics pharmacist for one of the major health systems in the US. In his channel, he has many useful videos for anyone who's interested in pharmacy informatics. There's a whole series of videos focused on tips for students pursuing informatics, a day in the life of an informaticist, and other related videos. In addition to that, he also does a lot of different type of videos that cover pharmacy residencies, successes without residencies, finding a happy balance, and just general vlogging. There's no doubt that no matter who you are, you'll find something on his channel that will be highly beneficial for you. So I hope that you all found this episode useful and that, you check out these great content creators when you get a chance. A full list of the mentioned content creators will be listed in the show notes for this episode for you. So in addition, I wanted to mention that Beju recently released a video on LinkedIn regarding the question of what does healthcare IT mean to you? And there's a really great video that features many individuals in the healthcare IT space. So be sure to check it out. I'll also link that in the show notes. But otherwise, I hope you all had a great National Healthcare IT Week, and we'll see you on the next episode. Alright, if you guys like this episode, you can subscribe and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or any of your other favorite podcasting services. You can also follow us on social media on Twitter or Facebook at PharmacyITme, or Instagram at PharmacyInformatics, or by emailing me at tony@pharmacyitme.com. And I also wanted to plug a great networking opportunity called Pharmacist Connect. If you are familiar with Microsoft Teams or Slack Workspace, think of Pharmacist Connect as a large vetted one through Slack Workspaces. I've met some great colleagues on it, and there's even an informatics space within it as well. You can find out more by visiting pharmacistconnect.com, which is PharmacistConnect.com. Thank you again for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of Pharmacy ITME. And remember, technology is the tool, patient care is the goal.